everyone, welcome to day 19 of the Tumblr 30-day video challenge. This is, as I said, day 19. I always do that, I always repeat the day and then repeat it. But either way, it's day 19, your favourite band or artist. I'm just going to be cheeky with this because it took me a while to think of who I was actually going to talk about, and I've decided rather than band or artist, I'm going to talk about a band and an artist. So tough. So for however long you're going to be watching this, you're going to have to watch me talk about two people. Ha ha ha. First one is going to be an blah blah blah. First one, let me try that again. First one is going to be an Australian prog alt band. It depends, where you fall on the categorizing of bands. If you really like to divide into genres, I love them, so I love them, and that's it. And the band is called Carnival. So Australian bands. They've had one EP and 2 albums so far. First album came out, I think, early 2004, 2005, probably a little bit later. It's probably about 2008 or 9. I'm just rubbish with dates. Called Themata, which I will leave an example in the below. Amazing album, amazing. Vocals are beautiful. The drum work was really intense and really complicated. The guitar work was really driven and really had a voice of its own. Beautiful album. Real, just beautiful sweeping tones for an Australian band. They had a lot of Middle Eastern kind of influence across their stuff. Yeah, so amazing album. And then 2009, 2010, their second album, Sound Awake, came out and just blew it out of the water. Just completely amazing. I've listened to the album more than I care to admit. I've really rinsed it, and it's only when you kind of get to a certain point that you realise that the album is actually a concept album and it tells a singular story throughout the album, but the tones throughout it are just amazing. From the opening track, Simple Boy, which I may leave in the below, sweeping through to my favourite track, which I mentioned a couple of videos ago, Umbra. Amazing. And then through to the final, just literally saving the best till last with a 15-minute epic called Dead Man. No, not Dead Man. Change Part 2. At the end of Themata, there was a very short track, about 1.5 minutes, called Change. And at the end of Sound Awake, there's a track called Change Part 2, which you hear Change 1 and you go, wow, that's really beautiful, it's a shame no more happens. And then at the end of the penultimate track of Sound Awake, you get that track again, and there's the lead up, and then it goes into Part 2 and just blows you away. Just the tones of it. You get just completely kind of pan-global sounds in this one, not only in this one track, but in this one album. It's beautifully done. It's heavy and it's melodic and it's somber and soulful, and it really punches you. So it's a beautiful album from an amazing band who are now, I think, just gone off tour and are about to go back into the studio for what they say will be the next stage of their sound. So we were completely blown away by Sound Awake, so I have no idea what's coming next, and massively look forward to it. So a band to watch. They're underrated, massively underrated. I've seen them live every time they've been here, and that's been about 4 or 5 times now. And every time it's never been, oh yeah, I'm going to go and see them again. It's going to be, I'm going to see them, I wonder what's going to happen now. So amazing, go and see them if you get a chance. Second one, which is my other option. So that was my band. This is my artist. Somebody who a lot of people will know, but won't actually know his music. They'll either know the name but not the music, or they'll know the music but not the name. A guy who's had a career that spanned the last 45 years-ish. Just an amazing artist, and he goes by the name of Tom Waits. First album was in 1972 or 3, a live album called Small Change, which I think he recorded in a blues restaurant, a kind of a jazz blues restaurant place. Amazing album from an amazing artist whose, as I say, career has spanned the last 40 years. His last album came out middle of last year, end of last year, sorry, called Bad As Me. Just continues to push the evolution of his sound. He started out very jazzy, bluesy, kind of drunk leaning on a lamppost, and it was beautiful stuff because although the music was, kind of very piano, very like bad, like beat up piano led, with some bass and some double bass. The lyrics were, the lyrics at first kind of started to, just kind of deconstruct. Oh, I'm a drunk who's lost his wife, and oh, I'm kind of come back to your baby, but I lost my car in a bet, and kind of very really downtrodden kind of stuff. And I went to a gig a couple of months ago, which was the 25th anniversary of his 1982 album. I could be wrong, I may have to look it up, called Rain Dogs. And Rain Dogs was the first album that he'd started writing with his wife, and it completely changed his sound. Up until then, it started, it was dark and it was jazzy and like that. And then Rain Dogs came out, and he went completely experimental. Started building his own instruments, started kind of making concept albums. It never went, like Dark Side of the Moon, not that weird, but he really pushed it, and every track seemed to have just really just taken on life of its own. And as I say, this anniversary gig was done by, I think, about a dozen artists who were brought in by one guy to do their own take on all of the tracks off of Rain Dogs, and it was amazing. It was amazing. The only thing was, Tom didn't turn up at the end of the gig. If he had, I may have wet myself. Yeah, so from Rain Dogs onwards, which was about, as I say, about kind of 15 years or so into his career, between now and then, he's toured the entire world so many times over, it's ridiculous. I hate to see the size of his carbon footprint. He has written for the stage, and he's had his stuff adapted for the stage. I think that would be Frank's Wild Years and also Alice. He's written for movies, he's starred in movies. Some of you may know him as the crazy inmate in the Keanu Reeves version of Dracula. I say Keanu Reeves, of course people are going to be mostly remembering Gary Oldman or Winona Ryder, but he plays the I don't remember his name. The guy who is locked up when Winona Ryder is seconded into the insane asylum, and he's there with the big crazy hair and the glasses and the stripy Tim Burton outfit, going, "Master, you promised me eternal life." Amazing, amazing. My impression was amazing. His performance was alright. Yeah, so I mean, you check out his albums like Mule Variations, Real Gone, even his massively live album Glitter and Doom, which came out a couple of years ago, and that was, every track was recorded at a different venue. You hear him now, and this guy is pushing. He's in his 60s. I want to say he's at least in his kind of late 60s, and he still rocks out just ridiculously. He's a bit jazz, he's a bit blues, he's a bit rockabilly, he's a bit hillbilly, he's a bit avant-garde, he's a bit kind of old rocker, he's a bit mod. He's just had the most amazing career, and you look back at his discography and every album is so different, and yet everything just sounds like Tom Waits. Yeah, so I love him. I praise everything he's done, and unlike Carnival, I have yet to see him live. The closest I got was finding out the week after he played in Paris, and I would have totally been willing to pay the Eurostar fare to go over and see him. Unfortunately, twas not to be. Yeah, so I do hope I will see him at some point before he dies, because the guy is looking pretty old. Not to say that age is any indicator of how close they are to dying, because Well, I think we know enough people that have died in their 20s. Um, but I would give both my testicles to see him live. Just please have them, and then give me ticket. Yeah. So this was day 19. My favourite band artists. I gave you one of each because I'm greedy that way. Tomorrow is a Monday. I don't know what the topic is for day 20, but as always, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for not watching. See you guys later.